everybody, this is Tambio and I'm back with another Transformers video review. And this time I have Transformers Unite Warriors UW-01 Autobot Aerialbot Combiner Superion. They made it a mouthful. So this is from Takara Tomy. This is not from Hasbro, so this is a exclusive only in Japan or overseas in Asia. And it's a box set of the complete Superion. So it does not come with Power Glide. But he really wasn't originally a part of Superion, so I guess they decided not to add it into the set. So as you can see here on the front, you have Superion. You have all the 5 jets right here. The main difference with this also is that they didn't add Alpha Bravo into this. So this is all jets in here. So this just like with the Hasbro version, they released Slingshot as a repaint of Fireflight. So, taking a look at that here, it actually has a panel on it that's held in by magnets. So you can flip that up, and you can actually see the figures on the inside. So you can see all the figures. They actually have white feet in here, so you can see the hands and the feet are all white. There is, if I bring this down, you might be able to see this up here. So they do have the technical data for the Superion and stuff like that, and they have like some kind of little bio I can't read. You can see all the different bots. You can see them in combined mode, where all the pieces go. These are his stats right here. So his strength, it shows it's 10. His intellect, it shows it's 1, 2, I guess that's 3, so he's not very smart. His speed is at an 8. His endurance is at a 10. His rank is at a 5. His courage is a 9. Fire blast is a 8, and it looks like his skill is at a 9. So on the side right here, you have the Unite Warriors logo and stuff, and then on this side you have the same thing on there. There is a little picture of the Superion head right there in kind of a frame type, in a wireframe type pictured on there. So you can see here once again you have Superion in his combined mode. Let me bring this back down so you can see the whole back of the box. And then you have your different characters here on the back. So you got Silverbolt, you have Fireflight, which they didn't call him Firefly, and then you have Slingshot, which they didn't call him Quickslinger. In the American version, they call him Quickslinger. You have Skydive, you have Air Raid, and then you have this right here, which is showing the proper configuration, but it also says that you can change these around and move them into different spots, so they don't specifically go, or you don't have to specifically put them in that spot. You can move them in different places. So this video is not going to really be a transformation type video. It's actually going to be a comparison video. So I'm going to compare these guys against the Hasbro versions of them. If you're looking for reviews on how to transform a specific figure that's in this set, I'm going to have them up on the tab section. So just look up there and I'll have all 5 reviews up there. Or if at any time you go through and you decide you want to look at a transformation or something, it'll be up there also. So, alright, so let's go ahead and get these guys out of the box so we can check them out. Alright, so before we get to the figures, there are a couple things that come inside the box. So, one of them, it comes with this large instruction booklet. So you have that picture that's once again on the front. On the back of it, you have kind of a funny picture where they're doing a kind of a barbecue type thing, and you can see them all eating, and Silverbolt's over here cooking and stuff, and you can see Metroplex in the background just chilling as a base. But you have this booklet that has, has all your figures right here in the layout that they were inside of the box, and then you have all your different transformations in here. So, it starts out with Silverbolt, and it goes through. It just shows how to transform him into all his modes, and then it goes into that's Fireflight, and it shows all of his different moves, so you can get him into that, and then it shows how to make his arm and his leg mode. Then you got Slingshot right here. It shows how to make his robot mode, and then you go into here on the back of it, and it shows how to make his different limbs. And then you got what is that, Skydive right there, and his different modes, and then you have air raid right there and all his different modes, and then you have how to connect these guys together. So there's the showing how to make the regular mode, and then if you go and you can do the alt modes, which you see it shows like an alt. See, for his arm would be number 9. So this is like a different different alternate type of configuration right here, and then they show like a little thing right here. So you have a kind of a sneak peek, if you will, of Minosaur here, and you know, it's showing that you can put his parts on him and stuff, and you know, it's just a really nice. It's not a big piece of paper, but it's actually a book, and I actually like these a lot more than the ones that Hasbro are releasing, where it's just a big old piece of paper that you unfold and stuff. So, and then depending on where you get this at, I actually bought mine from Chumungwang because I wanted to get the coin. So this is the coin right here. It's basically it looks like Superion's chest with 2 of the arms right here, and so you open this up and you have the coin right here. Mine got a little damaged; it got bent right here, but so you can see the coin. You can't see the back of it, but it does have all the names of the different aerial bots in there, so it's kind of cool. It does say masterpiece here. That's kind of weird, but I guess it's supposed to. I don't know. So, all right. So first up is going to be Silverbolt. I know he's white. Nothing I can really do about it. So you can see him in his jet mode right here. So he's, like I said, very white, but he has a large gap right there. This is the first time I've actually taken him out of the box. So this is actually hard plastic instead of the soft plastic that the American version comes with. It's kind of cool. And this is soft plastic back here, though. All right, so let me go ahead and bring in the Hasbro version of it. So here's Hasbro version, and you can tell kind of right off the bat that there's a lot of differences in there. So just looking at it, you got the black, you have the black windshields of the Hasbro. This is a soft plastic. The black doesn't go as far as on here. You have an Autobot logo right here. The shades of white are a little bit different. This is a little bit of a more of a white, and this has a little bit of gray in it. It seems like you got the yellows right here over the oranges. You got some paint right here on the tail fins. You can come up underneath here. I'm not really going to focus on this because I'll focus on this whenever we get into robot modes, but yeah, I kind of see some things on here. Might be some potential problems, but we'll get to that in just a little bit. So, alright, so I'm going to go ahead and transform this guy real quick. I keep forgetting this. Alright, so here we have Silverbolt right here. So this is the United version of him. Alright, and here's the Hasbro version of him. So, as you can see, the oranges from the Hasbro had been turned into almost like a yellow on here. Your whites are still the same. You have some paint apps on here on the knees. And then you get into the chest, and this is kind of where you have a little bit of a difference here. The chest pieces seem to be all molded out of white on this guy. So they actually painted this red right here. So you have some paint apps right here for the silver. And then that's mainly for combiner mode, but you can see that there's some red paint apps back here. But you come up to the front, and then this is going to be mainly for Superion down here. But if you look down here, like I said, this is actually molded in white and was painted red instead of like on the Hasbro where it's molded in red and painted white. It's the opposite way on the Takara version. So in the weapons are just the same. So you have the gun along with the shield, and then you have his shield along with the gun. So they look almost exactly alike. So you have to be careful on that. You might get them mixed up. So. Alright, so next up is the Firefly or Fireflight. With this one, they're actually naming him proper name, so they named him Fireflight. So here's the Hasbro version right here. And you can tell kind of right off the bat, you know, you have a little bit of longer paint up here. This is, let's see here. This is that soft plastic again. It's not as soft as this. Yeah, it's about the same. Notice that they're using black screws on this. And then something else that you'll kind of notice is that they put the black paint right here to kind of simulate the G1 where it would come back and it was just on these, and these two pieces would clip together basically. And then another big difference that you're going to notice is on the wings, the colors on the wings. There's like, basically it's just a light blue line and or a thin blue line and a thin yellow line. And I don't know, I kind of like the thicker blue line. I wish that they would have extended that out into there. That would have made it a little bit more G1 accurate, since, you know, this guy, they're adding paint to make it look a little bit more accurate. And then on the tail fins right here, you know, you have a little bit of a difference on there. And then you have with landing gear, the landing gear is gray on this guy, and he's molded in red on this one. So. Alright, let's go ahead and go through transformation real quick. So there we got Takara, and here's Hasbro. Alright, so with weapons, you'll kind of notice a little bit of a difference in this. The weapons on the Hasbro version are black, and then Takara is white. So everything's white on the Takara version. So you got some red right there. So yeah, you got some red right there, and that's going to be about the only differences. Yeah, it's all molded out of white paint. So So taking a look at the figures and noticing kind of the differences in these guys. We'll start off here. The head's pretty much the same. It's painted the same way. You have the blue eyes, the gray visor, and then the gray chrome or the gray head part up here. So on the Takara version, it looks like they just did some kind of gray accents on here, where they have the gray, the fully painted gray right here, and then the blue right here. The blue right here, it kind of transfers over. You know, you notice that they didn't paint this. Actually, this was this isn't painted. This is just molded out of gray, and this is molded out of red. And then they painted the blue right here, and then gave it some silver accents right here. And then you come to the legs, and the legs are fairly the same. You turn it to the side, and you look at it, and you can see that some of the transforming bits in here are molded out of different colors. So this is molded out of red. This is molded out of gray again. So you can see that on the inside right here. And then another thing that I almost missed that I just now recognized was the hands of the Takara version are actually painted in a gray color. So you got that also. So yeah. Oh, and something with the jet that I just noticed also is that this right here is painted all the way up into here. They did make a repro labels set that added the white up into here. But that's something that I just now noticed also. So pretty cool. Next. So next we have Slingshot here. And we'll go ahead and bring in the Hasbro version of them. So Hasbro version, Takara version. You'll notice once again that they added some extra paint to the nose cone right here, and then they added a Autobot logo. And then you come here and you notice that the blue's a little bit thinner, and then you have your Autobot logo right here, which is kind of I don't know. It's not completely accurate, but it's I tend to like this a little bit more. So you do have the black lines here again, representing the G1 kind of way that it was transformed, and then you come here and you can see that the tail fins are different. And then moving on to the landing gear, you can see that the landing gear are white on the Hasbro and black on the Takara. So. Alright, so let's go ahead and get into the transformation real quick. Oh, very nice. Whoa, that's completely different. All right, so here is Slingshot in robot mode. Okay, and here's the Hasbro version. So main difference that you're going to notice here right off the bat is the head. That's kind of what I did the whoa for whenever I saw that. And kind of real quickly looking at some pictures here, this is actually more in line with the toy, being more accurate with the toy. Now, if you wanted to be more accurate for, like say, the cartoon, then this top portion would have to be also white on here. But I kind of like the blue, just because it kind of offsets it a little bit. You can kind of get lost in here with all this orange, but I understand what Takara was doing here. So you come in here, and the main things that you're going to see right here are, in the knees, you're going to see that there's a different color. So there's gold here, there's silver here. In the hands, you'll notice that on the Hasbro version, it's completely black, but on this Takara version, just the hands are painted. You come up here, this is painted, and this is also painted, but it's painted with a different type of color. This is painted with a flat. It seems like the Takara stuff, it's all painted with a flat, except for the gray. The gray is painted more of a kind of a glossy type of shinier kind of silver paint, and then the gold is also kind of a shinier version. So you come here to the chest right here, you're going to see that there's no Autobot logo here, that they actually moved it to the shoulder. You come down here, you get some blue accents, no gray right here, but you come down here and you get this black kind of part in here in the waist region. Then you come down here to the feet, and then you see that there are some red accents on the bottom back here. You do have the black, and the black is a glossy color also. So usually the reds and the blues, they seem to be kind of a flat color on these guys. And then another thing that I just noticed is that the legs right here, they're actually molded in white, where these are molded in black. So the transformation part is black, and in this part it's actually white. Alright, let's go to the next one. Alright, so next up is Skydive here, and so we'll go ahead and check him out real quick, and then we'll bring in the Hasbro version. Let's see, here's the Hasbro version of him. So yeah, you're going to notice some pretty big differences on these guys. I do like how they added the bolts on here, but they actually did it the wrong way. The bolts are actually supposed to start here and then go out to here. So, you know, they tried, but it doesn't seem to be 100% accurate on this. Now there are some repro labels for this guy right here that change this into the bolt in the correct way. Yeah, this is soft plastic. Yeah, soft plastic. So you can see, just kind of looking at the bat, that there's some different color parts right here. They didn't use as much black for this front part right here. It looks like it was actually molded out of the gray and then painted. And then you got the small Autobot logo right here, and then coming onto here, it looks like these fins were molded out of gray, because you have gray color right here, and then the fins are then painted blue with that lightning bolt again. So you got a little bit of a difference there. Coming to the underside, I'm just kind of looking at the wings. You know, both of them are painted. The missiles are painted gold, and then you have the black painted. Wow, the wings are actually molded out of gray and then painted black. They did a lot of paint on this guy. A lot of paint. So let's go ahead and transform him real quick. And then you gotta take these, shift these around. These around. Okay, there. And then drop this down, peg it into there. Alright. So there we go for the Takara. Alright, so here is the Hasbro version. push those back. I forgot to do on that. So just looking real quickly at it, you can see that the face is the same. This is the same. It looks like I'm trying to tell real quick. I can't tell if it's molded in red or if it was just molded in another color than painted red. I can't really tell because it's very shiny. It's more shiny than the normal plastic is. So I assume that it was molded in a different color and then painted. So going to this version, the differences that you can see in it is that they used some black to kind of accent this portion right here, and I think it makes it look a little bit better. It kind of hides some of the stuff in here, and I think, you know, having these wings out helps that also. But because I remember specifically saying in my video that I didn't like this guy, that I tend to put the arms down like this just to keep them from kind of looking overly stupid. But you know, the Takara version doesn't look as bad just because the black kind of tends to blend it a little bit. Maybe, I don't know, maybe it's just the way that I'm looking at it. Maybe there is no real difference in it. But you can see that this is all black. The thruster up here is black. This has been painted red, and that's about it. Then you come down here and you got some red accents on here, and the foot isn't as black. It doesn't go up as high as the Hasbro version does, but you know, you do have black in here. So, and on the inside also. So yeah, alright, cool. And then looking at the arms, then you can see that this portion right here was actually painted black, where just the inside portion right here on his arm was painted black. And it goes almost all the way around. It doesn't go to the back because the back is kind of hollow. So. Alright. And then for the weapons on these guys, I know I forgot the weapons on Slingshot, but I'll show those off in the combined version. So you have the black and the black. But with the Takara, you have the white foot with the black gun. So, and then there's some black in here for that. Alright, so for the next one. Alright, and here is Air Raid. So you got that, and here's the Hasbro version of Air Raid. You know, I must say that I do dig this this wing configuration. I wish that it would have, I don't know, maybe follow it into here. I don't really see. I know that now that I see this followed into it, that I kind of wish that would have been, that's something new. So they put the Autobot logo here. They have the Autobot logos. They're about the same size on the wings. Something that I noticed with the canopy right here is that these are actually darker. So this back section and this frontmost forward section are actually a darker color. And then it looks like the intakes on the arms are actually a different color. So we got black. They went minimalist with this, so they didn't add the extra orange or red in there. They just have the silver. Alright, so I'll go ahead and transform him. Okay. Alright, and then head. Alright, cool. So there's the Takara version. Alright, and here's the Hasbro Air Raid. So just looking at them right off the bat, you notice that the heads are a little bit different. The head on this one, he has some blue on there. The Autobot logos are in the same spot. With the hands, you don't have the orange on the end, but you do have the fists that are painted silver. Then you come here to the body right here, and once again the red is a flat red, where you have the gloss red on the Hasbro version. And then on the inside, they actually, instead of just painting it orange like they did on this one, they painted it blue, and I think that's a gold color in there. Then you got just a white accent in the middle right here of where the belt area is. Looks like it's all the same color for the legs. You have the red right here, but instead of the red with the shin part, you have gray right here, and I kind of see where they did the gray, because it looks like kind of like landing gears right here if you look at it in the gray. So now with these guys' weapons, they're going to be exactly almost the same. So you got the white weapon with a black foot, which it's going to be different for this one, because you're going to have the white foot with the white interior, and then the white gun. So, all right. So now I'm going to go ahead and go on to the combine mode. I'm not really going to show that. I'm just going to transform them, and I'm going to put them next to each other. So I will be right back. Alright, so here is the Takara version of Superion. Let me go ahead and move this guy all the way back, because I'm going to have to raise this up. Alright, so there's the Takara. And here is the Hasbro version. Okay, so main things that we're going to see that are different on these are going to be in with the differences in the chest area, so in the legs, basically. So with Superion, this is facing a little weird, but it's actually, I don't know if they didn't paint the middle part, if they learned from the Hasbro mistake with the paint. But it doesn't want to push back. The only thing is I'm having a problem with this. I probably need to heat it up and bend it back out to keep it straight, but that's about it. And instead of using orange, they actually used a gold paint on it. Then you're looking at the chest. Everything was done backwards on this. So this was actually molded in white and then painted red right here, whereas in this one was molded in red and painted in white. So you have the Autobot logos on here, but this one is this one's filled in. This one's more of an outline. Then you come down here to down here. They kept this white to kind of keep this flowing through right here, where this is red. And see, once again, this is painted in red, and then they painted this in red to kind of keep the hips kind of in line, and then they added this gold trim right here, and then the silver vents right here. And that's pretty much what you're going to notice that is different. The other things that you'll notice is that the hands and feet are white on these guys. And that's about it, other than the things that I've already kind of pointed out, where you know, you have some differences on the individual planes and such like that, but that's the only other main difference that you're going to notice in this mode. So, alright, well, thanks for watching my video. Don't forget to like, subscribe, follow me on Twitter. This has been Tambiota, and I'll see you guys next time.